Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's curious about hidden treasures in your pocket change, then today's video is one you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about the 1971 Lincoln penny. Yes, that's right, a penny from over 50 years ago that can be worth an astounding $1.6 million. Now, you're probably wondering how a simple penny from 1971 could be worth that much. Well, it's not just any 1971 Lincoln penny. In fact, there's a very rare mistake or error that happened when some of these coins were made, and if you happen to have one of these, you could be holding onto a fortune. In today's video, we'll cover the history of the Lincoln penny, what makes the 1971 version so valuable, and how you can spot one of these rare, money-making pennies. So, let's dive right in. The history of the Lincoln penny. To understand why the 1971 Lincoln penny is so valuable, let's first take a quick look at the history of the coin itself. The Lincoln penny has been a part of U.S. currency since 1909, when it was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the coin features a portrait of President Lincoln on the front side, and initially, the reverse featured two stalks of wheat, earning the coin the nickname Wheat Penny. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which is what we still see on the back of most pennies today, including the 1971 version. The 1971 penny, however, also carries historical significance because it was minted during a transition period in U.S. coinage, following the introduction of the Kennedy half-dollar in 1964. That means the 1971 penny comes from a time when the U.S. Mint was actively working on adjusting various coin designs, including the Lincoln Memorial reverse. But, as we'll see, it's not just the year or the design that makes the 1971 penny so special. There's a rare error that happened during the minting process that makes certain 1971 pennies worth a small fortune. What makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so valuable? You might be surprised to learn that the 1971 Lincoln penny's worth comes from a minting error. Errors like these can occur during the coin production process and result in a coin that is much rarer than its counterparts. For the 1971 Lincoln penny, the specific error that makes it so valuable is a double die error. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or doubles during the minting process. This causes the design on the coin to appear blurry, duplicated, or shifted, which is highly desirable among collectors. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin can be. For the 1971 penny, the double die error is most commonly seen on the lettering and numbers. The Liberty and the date 1971 are the areas that typically show signs of doubling. The doubling is usually noticeable around the edges of the letters, making them look blurry or doubled. If you have one of these pennies with the noticeable doubling effect, you could have a rare, high-value coin on your hands. How to spot a valuable 1971 Lincoln penny. Now, let's talk about how you can find a valuable 1971 Lincoln penny. If you're searching for a coin that could potentially be worth a lot of money, you'll want to keep a sharp eye out for a few key signs of the double die error. 1. Examine the date. The first place to check is the date 1971. The double die error most commonly affects the numbers of the date, and the doubling may make the 1 or 7 look blurred or misaligned. You'll want to carefully inspect the date, especially under magnification, to see if any of the numbers appear to be doubled or if there's any noticeable shift in the alignment. 2. Inspect the word Liberty. The word Liberty is another area where the double die error shows up. If the coin has the error, you'll likely notice that the L, I, and B are the most affected, making these letters look blurry or doubled. You'll want to check carefully to see if the letters seem to have a shadow or a ghost effect around them. 3. Check In God We Trust. While less common, the double die error can also affect the phrase In God We Trust. Inspect the letters in this area carefully, especially around the I and N. If you notice any shadowing or duplication of the text, that could be a sign of a double die error. 4. Look for misalignment. The doubling isn't always perfect, and you might notice slight misalignments in the lettering. If the letters are not stacked properly or if the coin looks like it was struck twice, That could indicate the valuable minting error. To make sure you're seeing the details clearly, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. This will help you catch the finer details, especially the subtle doubling that might not be visible to the naked eye. What is the value of the 1971 Lincoln penny? Now, the most exciting part is how much could a 1971 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, that depends on the condition of the coin, the extent of the error, and how much demand there is for it among collectors. 1. Regular 1971 penny. A typical 1971 Lincoln penny without any errors is worth just 1 cent, the standard value for most pennies. However, the value increases significantly if the coin has a minting error like the double die. 2. Double die error 1971 Lincoln penny. If your 1971 penny has the double die error, it could be worth a lot of money. The value can range from a few $100s for a moderately struck coin with a slight doubling to thousands of dollars for a coin with a strong and clear double die effect. Some of the best examples of this coin can fetch over $1,000, but the most impressive specimens of coins in near-perfect condition with extreme doubling have been known to sell for up to $1.6 million. The price really depends on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. If the doubling is strong and easy to see, and if the coin is in excellent condition, meaning it has little to no wear, the value can skyrocket. 3. Misstruck 1971 penny. While not as valuable as a double die error, a misstruck 1971 penny or an off-center strike can still be worth more than its face value. These coins are less common, but they can be worth hundreds of dollars, especially if the misstrike is particularly noticeable. Where to sell your 1971 Lincoln penny? So, you've found a rare 1971 Lincoln penny and you think it might be worth some serious money. Where can you sell it? 1. Online auctions. One of the best places to sell rare coins like the 1971 double die penny is on online auction sites such as eBay. Auction sites attract collectors from all over the world, and you could sell your penny to someone who's specifically looking for that rare error. Be sure to take high-quality photos, highlighting the areas with the double die error, and include a detailed description. 2. Coin dealers. Reputable coin dealers can help you determine the value of your penny and may be interested in buying it from you. However, keep in mind that coin dealers will often pay less than the coin might fetch in a private sale, as they need to resell it for a profit. If you go this route, make sure you work with a trusted dealer who specializes in rare coins. 3. Coin shows. If you want to meet collectors and coin enthusiasts face-to-face, coin shows are a great option. You'll have the chance to network with other collectors and coin dealers who can help you assess your penny's value and possibly make an offer on it. 4. Professional auction houses. For extremely rare coins, consider using a professional auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These specialized auction houses handle high-value collectibles and can help you get the best price for your 1971 Lincoln penny. Conclusion. And that's a wrap. The 1971 Lincoln penny may seem like just another ordinary coin, but with the right minting error, it can be worth a small fortune. If you find a penny from this year with a clear double die error, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth $1.6 million or more. So, make sure you carefully check your pennies, as you might have a rare treasure hiding in your change. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and valuable insights. Keep an eye out for those rare coins so you never know what might be worth big money. And screen. Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. If you're a coin enthusiast or just someone who's curious about what's hidden in your pocket change, then today's video is a real treat for you. We're going to talk about a seemingly ordinary coin of the 2016 Lincoln penny. It may look like just another penny, but did you know that some 2016 Lincoln pennies are worth up to $1.1 million? That's right, a penny worth $1 million. So, how is that possible? Why would a 2016 penny, which is still relatively modern, be worth such a huge sum? In today's video, we'll dive into the history of the Lincoln penny, what makes the 2016 edition so special, and how you can spot a rare one worth a lot of money. Let's get started. A brief history of the Lincoln penny. To understand why the 2016 Lincoln penny could be worth so much, we first need to take a quick look at the history of the coin. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has featured the image of President Lincoln on the obverse, front, side ever since. The reverse of the coin has changed over the years. Initially, it featured two stalks of wheat, known as the wheat pennies. In 1959, the design was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial, which remained on the back of the coin for nearly 5 decades. In 2009, to mark the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint released 4 different reverse designs, and in 2010, they began using the shield design, which is still in use today. The 2016 penny still has the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, making it part of the last batch of pennies before the shield design fully took over. But what makes the 2016 version so special is tied to some very rare errors and mistakes that occurred during its minting. These errors are what collectors are really interested in, and they could make your 2016 penny worth a lot of money. What makes the 2016 Lincoln penny so valuable? While the regular 2016 penny is only worth 1 cent, certain minting errors can dramatically increase its value. It's all about what went wrong during the manufacturing process, and when those errors are significant, they make a coin extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 2016 Lincoln penny so special. The double die error. The main reason some 2016 Lincoln pennies are worth so much is due to a minting error known as the double die error. This happens when the coin die used to stamp the image onto the penny is misaligned. This results in the image, and sometimes the lettering, being duplicated or blurred. In the case of the 2016 penny, this error is most noticeable in the date and the word Liberty on the obverse of the coin. You may see that the numbers in the year 2016 look doubled or blurry, and the same goes for the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin is. This double die error is quite rare, and when it happens, it makes the coin much more valuable than a standard penny. In some cases, these coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions, and in rare instances, they have even reached values of $1.1 million, especially for coins in excellent condition with strong doubling. Other minting errors. In addition to the double die error, there are other types of minting mistakes that can make a 2016 penny more valuable. For example, you may come across a penny with a misstrike error, where the image on the coin is incomplete or not fully struck. Another possibility is an off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin. While these errors may not always fetch the same high prices as a double die error, they are still considered valuable by collectors. The rarity and condition of the coin will affect how much it's worth. For example, a misstruck or off-center 2016 penny might be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on how severe the error is. How to spot a valuable 2016 Lincoln penny. Now that we know what makes the 2016 Lincoln penny so special, let's talk about how you can spot one of these rare and valuable coins. It's not always easy to tell if your penny has a minting error, but if you know what to look for, you can quickly identify whether you've got a coin worth a lot of money. 1. Check the date. The first thing you should look at is the date. If the numbers in 2016 are doubled or blurry, you could have a valuable penny on your hands. The doubling should be noticeable, especially on the 1, 0, or 6 in the year. If you can see a clear duplication of the numbers, then you likely have a double die error. 2. Examine the word Liberty. The word Liberty is another area where you may notice doubling. Look closely at the L, I, and B, as these letters are often where the doubling is most pronounced. If you see any kind of shadowing or blurry duplication of these letters, it's a sign that you may have found a valuable error coin. 3. Look at In God We Trust. In addition to the date and Liberty, the phrase In God We Trust is another area where doubling can occur. While the doubling is usually more obvious on the date and Liberty, you should still inspect this area to see if the lettering appears duplicated or misaligned. 4. Check the Lincoln portrait. Though the doubling typically affects the text on the coin, it's also worth checking Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. The double die error may cause parts of Lincoln's face or beard to appear slightly doubled, though this is less common. However, it's still worth a quick look, especially if the doubling is particularly strong in other areas. For the best results, use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin closely. These tools will help you identify the finer details and make it easier to spot any doubling or other minting errors. What is the value of the 2016 Lincoln penny? So, how much is your 2016 Lincoln penny worth? The value depends on a few factors, primarily the type of error and the condition of the coin. Here's a breakdown. 1. Regular 2016 penny. If your 2016 penny is in typical condition with no minting errors, it's worth just 1 cent. While it may have historical value as part of the Lincoln penny series, it won't fetch much money beyond its face value. 2. Double die error. If your penny has a clear double die error, it could be worth much more, depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's condition. A 2016 Lincoln penny with this error could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. The best example is coins with strong doubling and in excellent condition and can even sell for over $1.1 million at auction. 3. Misstrike or off-center error. Penny coins with misstrikes or off-center strikes are also worth more than face value, though not as much as a double die error. These coins can sell for anywhere from a few $100s to a few thousand, depending on how extreme the error is. 4. Other errors. If your 2016 penny has other minting errors, like die cracks or lamination flaws, these coins are still considered collectible and may fetch a nice price. The value will depend on the rarity of the error and the coin's condition, but they are generally worth more than a regular penny. Where to sell your 2016 Lincoln penny? If you think you found a valuable 2016 Lincoln penny, you might be wondering where to sell it. Here are a few places where you can get the best value for your coin. 1. Online auctions. Websites like eBay are great places to sell rare coins. By auctioning your coin, you can reach a wide audience of collectors who may be willing to pay top dollar for a rare 2016 penny. Be sure to include high-quality photos and a detailed description of the coin's error. 2. Coin dealers. Reputable coin dealers are another option for selling your penny. They can appraise your coin and offer you a fair price, although they may give you less than if you sell it directly to a collector. 3. Coin shows. If you want to meet collectors face-to-face, coin shows are a great place to sell rare coins. These events bring together collectors and dealers who specialize in valuable coins, and you might be able to get a good price for your penny at one of these shows. 4. Auction houses. For particularly rare and valuable coins, consider using a professional auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They specialize in rare coin auctions and can help you fetch the highest price for your 2016 Lincoln penny. Conclusion. There you have it. While the 2016 Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin, certain minting errors can make it worth a small fortune. If you find a penny with a double die error or another rare mistake, you could be holding onto a coin worth up to $1.1 million or more. So, take a closer look at your penny, as you never know what hidden treasure you might find. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and valuable insights. And remember, always keep an eye out for those rare coins, so you might just have a hidden gem in your pocket and screen. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we have something really exciting to talk about. We're diving into the world of the Lincoln penny, specifically the 1964 Lincoln penny, which could be worth a staggering $1.6 million if you happen to find the right one. Yes, you heard that correctly, at $1.6 million. Now, you might be wondering, how can a simple penny from 1964 possibly be worth that much? It all has to do with rare minting errors, specific conditions, and, of course, collector demand. So, if you've ever wondered about the value of your pennies from 1964, this video is for you. Stick around as we explore the history behind the Lincoln penny, what makes the 1964 penny so special, and how to spot one of these rare treasures. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1964 penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny has been a part of U.S. currency since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the design was created by artist Victor David Brenner. Initially, the reverse of the coin depicted two stalks of wheat, which became known as the wheat penny. In 1959, the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design stayed in place for many years, including in 1964, when the 1964 Lincoln penny was minted. The 1964 penny, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, is an iconic coin that represents an important period in U.S. coinage history. However, despite the 1964 being a relatively common coin in terms of circulation, there are some rare exceptions, specifically coins with minting errors that are worth a lot of money today. What makes the 1964 Lincoln penny so valuable? So, how is it that a regular 1964 penny could be worth up to $1.6 million? The value of this coin comes down to a specific minting error known as the double die error. The double die error happens when a coin is struck more than once, resulting in a double or shifted image on the coin. This error is often subtle, but when it's noticeable, it can greatly increase the coin's value. In the case of the 1964 Lincoln penny, some coins were struck with a double die error, which is most noticeable on the date and the letters in the inscription "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The doubling effect creates a blurry or ghost-like image, where the letters and numbers appear to have two impressions instead of one. These types of errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and add significant value to a coin. How to spot a valuable 1964 Lincoln penny? Now that we know what makes the 1964 penny so special, let's talk about how to identify one that could be worth a fortune. While not every 1964 penny has this error, it's worth taking a closer look at yours to see if you've got one of these rare coins. 1. Examine the date. The first area to check is the date. The doubling on the 1964 penny usually affects the numbers in the year 1964. If you have a penny with noticeable doubling or misalignment in the 1, 9, 6, or 4, that's a good sign you might have a valuable coin. The doubling might make the numbers look blurry, shadowed, or slightly off-center. 2. Inspect the word Liberty. Next, check the word Liberty on the front of the coin. The double die error often causes the letters in Liberty to appear blurry or duplicated. You'll want to carefully inspect the L, I, B, and R for any signs of doubling. If the letters seem to have a double image or a faint shadow, that's a sign of a double die error. 3. Check "In God We Trust." The phrase "In God We Trust" is another area to examine. The doubling effect can cause the letters to look duplicated or misaligned, especially in the I, N, and G. If you see signs of this kind of doubling, you could have a rare, valuable penny. 4. Look for other minting errors. While the double die error is the main feature that makes the 1964 penny so valuable, there could be other minting errors that make your coin even rarer. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, or misaligned dies. If your penny shows any of these features in addition to the double die, its value could increase significantly. To get the best view of these features, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. These tools will help you see the finer details of the coin and identify doubling or other errors that might not be visible to the naked eye. What is the value of the 1964 Lincoln penny? Now, let's talk about how much your 1964 penny could be worth. The value depends on several factors, including the severity of the minting error, the coin's condition, and how rare it is among collectors. Here's a breakdown of the potential value of a 1964 Lincoln penny. 1. Regular 1964 penny. If your 1964 penny doesn't have any minting errors, it's worth its face value of 1 cent. These are common coins that you'll find in circulation, and they don't carry any additional value beyond being a standard penny. 2. Double die error 1964D Lincoln penny. If your penny has the double die error, its value increases dramatically. A typical 1964D penny with the minor double die error might be worth several $100s, depending on its condition. However, coins with strong and noticeable doubling, especially on the date or liberty, can be worth thousands of dollars. In the case of a perfectly struck 1964D penny with a pronounced double die error, the value can go up to $1.6 million. The more distinct and dramatic the doubling, the higher the potential value. This is especially true if the coin is in mint condition, meaning it has no visible wear or damage. 3. Other minting errors. If your 1964D penny has other minting errors in addition to the doubled die, such as an off-center strike or die cracks, this can further increase its value. Misstruck coins, especially those with multiple errors, can command higher prices among collectors. These types of coins are rarer and are often highly sought after. Where to sell your 1964D Lincoln penny? So, you've found a 1964D penny that might be worth a lot of money. Now, where can you sell it? Here are some options for selling your rare penny. 1. Online auctions. One of the best places to sell a valuable 1964D Lincoln penny is on online auction platforms like eBay. These sites attract coin collectors from all over the world, and you can auction your penny to the highest bidder. Be sure to take high-quality photos of the coin, especially the areas showing the double die error, and provide a detailed description to help buyers assess its value. 2. Coin dealers. You can also visit a reputable coin dealer to have your penny appraised and potentially sold. Coin dealers often specialize in rare coins and can help you assess the true value of your 1964D penny. However, keep in mind that dealers may not offer as much as you could get from a private sale or auction, as they need to resell the coin for a profit. 3. Coin shows. Another option is to attend the coin show, where you can meet with other collectors and dealers in person. Coin shows are a great place to network and get expert opinions on the value of your penny. You may even find a buyer who is willing to pay top dollar for your coin. 4. Professional auction houses. For especially rare and valuable coins, you may want to consider working with a professional auction house, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These auction houses specialize in high-end collectibles and can help you get the best price for your 1964D penny. Conclusion. And there you have it. The 1964D Lincoln penny might seem like just another ordinary coin, but if it has a double die error, it could be worth as much as $1.6 million. If you have any pennies from 1964, it's definitely worth checking them closely to see if you've found one of these rare, valuable coins. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and insights. Keep an eye on your change. You never know when you might find a rare treasure. And screen. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered whether there's real treasure hiding in your pocket change, then today's video is for you. We're diving into the world of Lincoln pennies, and more specifically, the 2007D Lincoln penny. You might be surprised to learn that this seemingly ordinary penny, minted over a decade ago, can actually be worth a whopping $1.30 million if you know what to look for. So, how can a 2007D penny be worth so much? What makes this particular coin so valuable? Stick around as we explore the history of the Lincoln penny, what makes the 2007D so special, and how you can spot a rare version of it that could be worth a fortune. A quick history of the Lincoln penny. Before we get into the specifics of the 2007D penny, let's take a step back and look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny, as we know it today, has been a part of American currency since 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny originally featured a portrait of Lincoln on the front and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design became known as the wheat penny. In 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which remained in use for decades. Then, in 2009, To mark the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint released a series of special reverse designs for the penny, commemorating different moments in Lincoln's life. The Lincoln Memorial design continued through 2008, and the regular 2007 penny carries this iconic design on the back. But what really makes the 2007 D penny worth so much is a rare and valuable minting error that occurred during its production. What makes the 2007 D Lincoln penny so valuable? The 2007 D Lincoln penny became incredibly valuable because of a rare minting error. The specific error that made those coins worth so much is called the double die error. But before we get into what a double die error is, let's explain how pennies are made. When coins are struck, the design is pressed into the metal using a coin die. Sometimes, due to a misalignment of the die, the design can be struck multiple times, creating a blurry or doubled effect on the coin. This is called a double die error. In the case of the 2007 D Lincoln penny, this error appeared on the obverse, front, of the coin, affecting the date and inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. In a typical minting process, the design is struck once, and that's how most pennies are made. However, during the production of some 2007 D pennies, the die malfunctioned, resulting in a double image. The doubling typically affects the text, making the letters and numbers appear blurry or doubled. The most common areas where doubling occurs are the 1, 9, and 7 in the year 2007, as well as the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling is what makes the 2007 D penny so valuable. These errors are relatively rare, so finding one of these coins in good condition can be worth a lot of money. How to spot a valuable 2007 D Lincoln penny? Now that we know what makes the 2007 D penny so special, let's dive into how you can spot a valuable one. Not all 2007 D pennies will be worth money, so you'll need to know exactly what to look for to identify the rare coins with the double die error. 1. Examine the date. Start by looking at the year 2007 on the obverse of the penny. The doubling is most noticeable on the numbers of the date. Specifically, the 1, 9, and 7 might look blurry, doubled, or misaligned. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the penny could be. Sometimes, the doubling is subtle, but in more extreme cases, the numbers may be fully duplicated. 2. Inspect the word Liberty. Next, take a look at the word Liberty on the front of the coin. The double die error can cause the letters to appear blurry or shifted, especially the L, I, and B. If you see a noticeable doubling effect or blurry outlines around these letters, it's a sign that you might have a valuable penny on your hands. 3. Check the phrase In God We Trust. Another area to check for the double die error is the phrase In God We Trust. Like with Liberty, the letters may appear to be doubled, misaligned, or have a blurry, ghost-like effect. If the phrase looks unusual or if the lettering appears faint or doubled, it could indicate a valuable error coin. 4. Look for any additional errors. While the doubling is the most common error on the 2007 D penny, there may also be other types of minting mistakes, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or even misstrikes. While these errors are less common, they can still increase the value of the coin. If you find one of those additional errors, you may have a coin that is even more rare and valuable. To get the best view of the double die error, it's a good idea to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. These tools will allow you to see the details more clearly and help you identify the doubling effect with precision. What is the value of the 2007 D Lincoln penny? So, how much can your 2007 D Lincoln penny be worth? The value depends on a few factors, including the severity of the minting error, the condition of the coin, and its rarity. Here's a general breakdown of what you could expect. 1. Regular 2007 D penny. If your 2007 D penny doesn't have any minting errors, it's worth just 1 cent, the standard face value. Most pennies, even those from recent years, don't have any significant value beyond their face value unless they're in particularly pristine condition or have rare errors. 2. Double die error 2007 D Lincoln penny. If your penny has the double die error, it could be worth a lot more. Coins with this error, depending on the extent of the doubling and their overall condition, can range in value from hundreds of dollars to several $1,000s. In some cases, Particularly well-struck examples with strong doubling can sell for up to $1,300,000, especially if the coin is in mint condition. The stronger and more noticeable the doubling, the more valuable the coin will be. This is one of those coins where rarity and condition make all the difference. The best example are those with significant doubling and little to no wear are the ones that can command top dollar. 3. Other minting errors. In addition to the double die error, other types of minting mistakes on the 2007 D penny, such as missed strikes or off-center strikes, can also add value. These errors are less common, but they still make the coin more interesting to collectors. A penny with a missed strike or off-center error could be worth several $100s, depending on how severe the error is. Where to sell your 2007 D Lincoln penny? If you think you found a valuable 2007 D Lincoln penny, you're probably wondering where to sell it. Here are some of the best places to sell your rare coin. 1. Online auctions. Websites like eBay are great places to sell rare coins. You can list your penny and auction it to a global audience of collectors. Be sure to take clear, high-quality photos of the coin, especially highlighting the areas with the double die error. Make sure to describe the error in detail so potential buyers know exactly what they're bidding on. 2. Coin dealers. You can also visit local coin dealers to have your penny appraised. These professionals will be able to determine the value of your coin and may make an offer to buy it. However, be prepared for coin dealers to pay less than what you might get in a private sale or at auction, as they need to resell the coin for a profit. 3. Coin shows. Coin shows are another great place to meet collectors and dealers who specialize in rare coins. You'll have the opportunity to show your 2007 D penny to a wide audience and potentially sell it to the highest bidder. Coin shows are often packed with knowledgeable individuals who can help you assess the value of your coin. 4. Auction houses. For particularly rare and valuable coins, you may want to consider working with a professional auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These auction houses specialize in high-end collectibles, and they can help you get the best price for your 2007 D Lincoln penny. Conclusion. And that's a wrap. The 2007 D Lincoln penny may look like just another ordinary coin, but if you've got one with a double die error, you could be holding a rare and valuable piece of history. A well-preserved 2007 D penny with a strong doubling effect can be worth up to $1.3 million. So, if you've got any pennies from 2007 lying around, now's the time to check them closely. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and valuable insights. Keep an eye on your penny so you never know when you might find a hidden gem. And screen. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's curious about what might be hiding in your pocket change, then today's video is for you. We're talking about the 2016 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny from just a few years ago that can be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Now, you might be thinking, a 2016 penny? That can't possibly be worth that much, can it? Well, believe it or not, it absolutely can, but only under the right circumstances. In this video, we'll dive into the history of the Lincoln penny, what makes the 2016 version so special, and how you can spot one that could make you a small fortune. Let's get started. The history of the Lincoln penny. To understand why the 2016 Lincoln penny is so valuable, it's important to take a quick look at the history of the coin itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the coin features a portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, front, side. The reverse of the penny has changed a few times throughout history. The original design featured 2 stalks of wheat, which is why those pennies are often called wheat pennies. In 1959, the design was updated to show the Lincoln Memorial to honor the legacy of the 16th president. That design remained in place until 2009, when the penny's reverse was redesigned again to show a shield, representing Lincoln's legacy of unity. The 2016 penny, as you may know, still features the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, since it was minted before the shield design fully took over. But while the 2016 penny may appear to be just another standard coin, there's more to it than meets the eye. What makes the 2016 Lincoln penny so special? So, why is a 2016 Lincoln penny worth so much? After all, it's not an old coin, and there's no major design change to make it stand out. The answer lies in the rare errors that sometimes occur during the minting process. These errors are incredibly sought after by collectors, and when they happen, they can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a small fortune. One of the key reasons a 2016 penny can be worth a lot of money is due to a few specific minting errors, including the double die error and the misstrike error. These errors happened when the coin dies used to strike the penny are misaligned, causing the image or text on the coin to appear doubled or distorted. 1. The double die error. The most valuable error for a 2016 penny is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, which causes the image and lettering on the penny to appear doubled or blurred. The double die error is often most noticeable on the date or the word liberty on the obverse, but it can also occur on the lettering "In God We Trust." For a 2016 Lincoln penny, a noticeable double die error can significantly increase the coin's value. The more pronounced the doubling effect is, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 2016 penny with a clear double die error could be worth thousands of dollars, or in some rare cases, even more. 2. The misstrike error. Another type of error that can make a 2016 Lincoln penny valuable is a misstrike error. A misstrike occurs when the coin die doesn't strike the penny evenly, creating a coin with an incomplete design or a blurry image. Misstrike errors are often much more subtle than double die errors, but they can still make a coin rare and collectible. If you come across a 2016 penny with a noticeable misstrike, it could be worth far more than the 1 cent face value, depending on the severity of the misstrike and the condition of the coin. These coins can sell for several $100s or even more, if it's a particularly rare example. How to spot a valuable 2016 Lincoln penny. Now that you know what makes the 2016 Lincoln penny special, let's talk about how you can spot one of these valuable coins in your collection or even in your pocket change. 1. Examine the date. The first place you should look when checking for a double die error is the date. The numbers in the year 2016 could appear doubled or slightly misaligned. The most noticeable doubling will likely be on the 1 or the 6, but check the entire date to see if there's any hint of doubling. 2. Check the word liberty. Another area to check for the double die error is the word liberty. If the coin has this error, you'll notice that the letters look blurry or doubled. Pay special attention to the L, I, and B, as these are often the most affected by this minting mistake. 3. Inspect "In God We Trust." The next thing to look at is the phrase "In God We Trust." This part of the coin is often where the doubling can be less obvious, but if you look closely, you might notice some of the letters are doubled or misaligned. This could be a clear indicator of a double die error. 4. Look at the Lincoln portrait. While the double die error typically affects the text more noticeably, you should also take a closer look at Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Though less common, the doubling can sometimes show up around his features, such as his beard, nose, and eyes. If you see any blurring or shadowing in Lincoln's image, you might have a valuable coin. To get a good look at a coin and its features, it's best to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. These tools will help you spot the finer details of the minting error and determine if your 2016 penny is worth something. What is the value of the 2016 Lincoln penny? Now, let's get to the most exciting part. How much is the 2016 Lincoln penny worth? The value can vary greatly depending on the type and severity of the minting error. Here's a breakdown of how much your coin might be worth. 1. Standard 2016 penny. If you just have a regular 2016 penny without any errors, it's only worth 1 cent. While this is the typical value for the vast majority of coins, it's always worth keeping an eye out for those rare and valuable errors. 2. Double die error. A 2016 Lincoln penny with a clear and noticeable double die error can be worth anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. The more pronounced the doubling, the higher the value. If you have one in near mint condition with an obvious double die error, it could easily be worth $1,000 or more. In rare cases, a perfectly struck double die penny can be worth over $1.2 million. 3. Misstrike error. A 2016 penny with a misstrike error can also be worth a decent amount, but it's typically less than a double die error coin. Depending on the severity of the misstrike and the overall condition of the coin, it could be worth several $100s or more. 4. Other errors. Other types of minting errors, such as off-center strikes or die cracks, can also make a 2016 penny more valuable. These coins might not be worth as much as a double die error, but they're still highly collectible and could fetch a nice price at auction or through a coin dealer. Where to sell your 2016 Lincoln penny. If you think you found a rare and valuable 2016 Lincoln penny, you might be wondering where to sell it. Here are a few places where you can get the best value for your coin. 1. Online auctions. Websites like eBay are great places to sell rare coins. You'll be able to reach a large audience of collectors who might be interested in buying your coin. Make sure to take high-quality photos, especially of the areas showing the minting error, and provide a detailed description of the coin's condition and rarity. 2. Coin dealers. A reputable coin dealer can help you determine the value of your 2016 Lincoln penny and offer to buy it from you. If you don't want to sell it on your own, a coin dealer can make the process easier, though they might offer you less money than if you were to sell it directly to a collector. 3. Coin shows. Attending a coin show is a great way to meet collectors and dealers who specialize in rare coins. If you're serious about selling your 2016 Lincoln penny, a coin show is a great place to connect with potential buyers and get a fair price. 4. Auction houses. For very rare and valuable coins, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can help you sell your coin to the highest bidder. These auction houses specialize in high-end collectibles and can help you fetch top dollar for your coin. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 2016 Lincoln penny may not seem like anything special at first glance, but if it has a double die error or another rare minting mistake, it could be worth a small fortune up to $1.2 million in some cases. Be sure to check your pennies carefully, and you could be sitting on a valuable treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and insights. Who knows, your next pocket change could be worth a lot more than you think. And screen.